Old School Pokemon here. Today's video, I have a 384 card PSA return to show you guys. This is actually the second time I'm recording this video. I actually recorded this video about a week and a half ago, and after recording the video, I left for a week-long vacation. While I was away on vacation, I was taking a whole bunch of pictures and videos, and I'm really terrible about deleting old eBay pictures off my phone from cards that I take pictures of. So when I was on vacation, I ran out of storage room on my phone, and I went through, deleted a whole bunch of pictures and videos, and I accidentally deleted this video that I had previously recorded. So now I'm back home from vacation, and I decided to re-record this video, so hopefully you guys enjoy. We'll go ahead and hop right into it. Like I said, 384 card PSA return. Majority of this submission is first edition base set commons and uncommons. When I originally recorded this video, I was actually opening up all of the PSA boxes and organizing all the cards by the grade. Now that I'm re-recording this video, I already have all of the cards organized by the grades, so you're going to be seeing everything in order, starting off with the lowest grade and then moving on up from there. So we had one PSA Excellent 5, we had 3 PSA Near Mint 7s, and the rest of the cards within this submission are going to be a PSA 8 plus. We did get, there's a couple PSA 8s, maybe 50-ish PSA 8s, but the majority of this submission is definitely going to be PSA Mint 9s and PSA Gem Mint 10s, which is always nice right there. I was actually really surprised when I got the email from PSA about some upcharges within this submission, which the upcharges we'll talk about when we actually get to those cards, but the upcharges for this submission were definitely justified in my opinion. There were a few upcharges that kind of surprised me, but like I said, we'll talk about those when we actually get to those cards. We've got one more stack of PSA 8s to go through, and then we'll be getting into the PSA 9s. But like I said, really surprised when I got the email notification about the upcharges for this submission, because this submission, I submitted these cards into PSA late February, early March, right when PSA raised their pricing for the bulk tier from $10 per card to $20 per card, and shortly thereafter just completely shut down and stopped accepting any type of submissions. So PSA actually received this submission in the mail March 2nd, 2021. They entered it into their system April 23rd, 2021, and I just received this submission back in the mail about 2 weeks ago at this point. And was really surprised by that, because I know there's a lot of people out there who are still waiting on submissions from late 2020. Like, I know Rusty over at TCA Gaming, he's talked about how he's still waiting on a few submissions from late 2020, and then I know Catch 'em All Collectibles, Dan, is in the same position where he's still waiting on submissions from late 2020. Although I believe both of those guys submitted through middlemen, so that could be part of the reason why their submissions are taking longer. But for me to have gotten this submission back from PSA that much sooner than those submissions is really surprising. I was definitely not expecting to get this submission back from PSA at any point in the near future, but I am very, very glad that I did receive this submission back, just because before this return, I was really running low on any type of PSA graded cards for my eBay inventory. Right now, before this return, I probably had less than 100 graded cards within my eBay inventory, outside of those that are listed on consignment within my eBay store. So my own actual PSA graded inventory was less than 100 cards. So this return will really help me out there once I'm able to actually get everything listed on eBay, which will probably take a little while, because this week is definitely focused on getting a lot of cards out the door to PSA for their $18 per card July special. But we're moving on into the PSA 9 stack right now. So we finished up all of the PSA 8s. We have 3 stacks to go through of PSA Mint 9 cards. But yeah, so right now, as I'm recording this video, today is Tuesday, July 26th, I believe. And so it's the last week of the July special for PSA, $18 per card, $199 maximum declared value with a 150-day estimated turnaround time. I've been submitting a lot into PSA under this July special here. I already did 3 of my own submissions, with each submission containing 195 cards. I have a 4th submission that I kind of did a middleman for a few people. So that submission is just all other people's cards. So another 195 cards out the door to PSA. That'll be tomorrow. I'll get those cards mailed out. And then I have at least another 195 card submission of my own that I want to send off before the end of the week. I'll probably do at least another 1, maybe another 2 submissions. So by the end of everything, I should have between 800 and 1,000 cards off at PSA of my own, plus the 200-ish cards that I did as a kind of middleman. I'm not really doing that, but there were a few people who reached out and asked if I could help them out, and I said I would, just kind of being nice and making a little bit of money off of that, but definitely not something that I want to get into as like a business, like Graded Gem or Polaris. I don't know. I could never do that as like an actual thing, just because the PSA submission form, the online submission form that you have to fill out to send cards into PSA, is an absolute nightmare. I absolutely hate using that submission form. It is not user-friendly whatsoever, whereas the CGC submission form is actually very user-friendly, and it's so nice submitting cards through CGC versus PSA. Unfortunately, the pricing with CGC cards just doesn't match up to the pricing with PSA cards, which is really unfortunate because I really do like CGC as a collector. I think CGC is the best option, but as a seller and someone who wants to get the most value out of their cards, PSA is obviously still the number 1 option, and I believe it'll remain the number 1 option going forward. But we'll see how CGC can keep up with PSA now that PSA is starting to lower their pricing, which I know this $18 per card is just for this month, and I highly doubt we'll see any type of specials for the remainder of this year. I have a feeling that PSA is going to get absolutely flooded with cards this month, and I'd be surprised if we saw any sub $30 per card tiers open up before 2023. But we'll see how that goes. It'll be really interesting. Another thing that I'm curious about is whether or not PSA is going to hold true to their estimated turnaround time of 150 business days, or 150 days, not business days, because they got rid of that. But 150 days, that'll put us right around December, maybe the beginning of January, somewhere in that time frame. So we'll see what happens as we get towards that time frame. I really do hope that they are able to hold true to those estimated turnaround times, and this doesn't turn into a repeat of 2020, 2021. I don't think PSA would kind of allow that after what they've been through already, but we'll see what happens with there. It'll be interesting to see if they're able to hold true to those turnaround times. But anyway, like I was saying, this submission, as you guys are seeing right here, consists mainly of first edition base set commons and uncommons. There's also some Japanese versus cards in here, which Dan, Catch 'em All Collectibles, if you're watching this video, I saw the Japanese versus set that you purchased, and you were showing that on I think it was your live stream, and you weren't sure whether to call it the VS set or the versus set. It is definitely called the versus set. I don't know. What do you guys call it? Do you call it the VS set or the versus set? VS set. These cards right here. VS set. That just sounds weird to me. I got a kick out of that when you were talking about that. But anyway, I call it the Versus set. So that's what the submission consisted of. Mainly first edition base set, commons and uncommons, Japanese Versus set cards, and then there's about 25 or 30 Charizard Illustrator cards in here as well. The Japanese, or the first edition base set, commons and uncommons, if you guys have been following my YouTube channel for a while, I actually did a video showing this whole collection when I originally purchased it. I purchased these cards off of Gary King Pokemon quite some time ago. I actually got really, really lucky with this purchase right here. So I purchased right around 1,200 first edition base set commons and uncommons off of Gary King Pokemon back in March or April of 2020. So before the whole Pokemon Mania, Logan Paul craze, and all of that stuff, I purchased these cards off of him. The majority of the cards that I purchased off of him were within the PSA 8 to PSA 9 range. There were 100, maybe 200 cards that were more like excellent to near mint condition, so PSA 7s and below. Those cards I just listed as being raw copies on eBay, and then everything else, about 1,000 cards or so, I set aside for eventual grading. I sent 300 or 400 into PSA back in June of 2020, and then right before I left for my last shipping job, actually. So this is going quite a ways back here. So 300-400 cards back in June of 2020, and then when I got home from my last shipping job in November of 2020, I sent another about 300 cards into CGC for grading. And this is the last of those first edition base set cards that I got back from PSA from my February or March 2021 submission. So there's that right there. The original PSA submission, I already sold all of those cards. The original CGC submission, those cards are selling decently, not nearly as well as the PSA graded copies, but I still have probably about half of those cards that I submitted into CGC. The other half have been sold. But in my opinion, I think when people are collecting sets, like when they're trying to go for a complete set of, say, first edition base set, I think people are still preferring PSA versus CGC. And I think that'll remain true for, I don't want to say forever, but I think that'll remain true for the foreseeable future, just because PSA sets is just like so ingrained in everyone. I don't think we'll see a time where when CGC kind of takes over and people start building CGC sets versus PSA sets, but we'll see what happens there. So I think that's why the CGC cards are moving slower than the PSA cards typically would. But I do have decent luck selling like one-off CGC cards, like WotC Hollows, more popular Pokemon of modern cards. That type of stuff does decently well with CGC. It's still, you still don't get the same pricing that you would with PSA cards. But I kind of mixed up the order here. So those two are supposed to be 10s. I think the rest of these are going to be PSA 9s. So we should have one more stack to go through of PSA Mint 9s, and then we'll get on into the PSA 10s, and I can talk about some of these upcharges that I got. Most of them were justified. There were a few that were definitely justified, but surprised me a little bit. Another thing that I wanted to talk about within this video is to kind of want to give you guys an update into what's been going on with my eBay business, since it's been a while since I've recorded and uploaded any type of content to my YouTube channel. It took about a month break there from uploading any type of videos. So within that month time period, I actually did quite a bit of changes for my eBay business. I used to sell modern bulk type cards, single cards on eBay for 99 cents a piece. I started selling on TCG Player back about 6 months ago. It was either December or maybe January. So December 2020, 2021 or January 2022, so about 6 months ago. And I really like selling on TCG Player. If you can become part of the TCG Player Direct program, TCG Player is really, really nice. If you had to ship out all those orders yourself, I don't know if I would sell on TCG Player. But if you can qualify for the TCG Player Direct program and have TCG Player help you out with shipping some of those orders, then it becomes really nice. So started selling on TCG Player about 6 months ago. I would always list a certain quantity of the modern bulkier type cards, so anything outside of the hit cards within modern product. So I would always list a certain quantity of those cards within my eBay store. I'd usually either do 25 or 50 copies of each card, just depending upon how small or how big the set was. And then after those 25 or 50 copies of each card were listed within my eBay store, any extra copies of that card would get listed onto TCG Player. And I did that for a couple months. Just recently, I decided to remove all of those eBay listings. So all of those 99-cent bulk type card eBay listings I removed, and I transferred everything on over to TCG Player. I did this because just the sales consistency on TCG Player is a lot better for those types of cards, where on eBay you have to list those cards for 99 cents a piece, which is fairly expensive compared to what they're listed for on even like Troll and Toad or TCG Player. It's a lot more expensive on eBay. So now we're getting into the PSA 10 stacks right here. We have 2.5 stacks of PSA 10s to go through. So yeah, I decided to remove all of those eBay listings, transferred everything over to TCG Player. The sales volume is a lot better on TCG Player because instead of listing those cards for 99 cents a piece, I'm listing those cards for anywhere between like 5 cents a piece all the way up to maybe $1 for a few of them. For the most part, they're between 5 cents and 50 cents a piece, with the vast majority being in that like 5 to 10 cent range. So sales are a lot better for those cards with the lower pricing. And then another benefit of selling those cards on TCG Player is the TCG Player Direct program, which basically, for the most part, when I sell any of those cards, TCG Player fulfills that individual order and then sends me a reimbursement invoice every couple weeks. It's usually every week to every other week is I get a reimbursement invoice. And so they send a reimbursement invoice basically saying, we sold these cards on your behalf. Can you send us these cards as replacements for our own inventory? And so I pull all the cards that they sold, mail them directly to TCG Player, and they kind of handle the individual shipments. So this was the first card that I got upcharged on. Obviously, this one makes sense. PSA Gem Mint 10, first edition, Yellow Cheeks Pikachu right there. Awesome, awesome card. Believe I got upcharged to I believe that was a $30 per card tier, which if I didn't mention this already earlier in this video, this was a bulk submission. I paid $20 per card to have all of these cards graded. This was right after PSA raised their pricing from $10 to $20 per card. I forget what the maximum declared value it was for this tier at that time. I think it was higher than the $199 that they have as a maximum declared value right now, but I could be wrong on that. It's been quite some time since I actually filled out this submission form, so I'm not quite sure on that one. But yeah, so that one, Pikachu, made sense. It's a more popular Pokemon. People who aren't super familiar with Pokemon probably know that card in a PSA 10 has some decent value. But a few of these other cards I was surprised by, and I'll mention that when we actually get to them. But I was super happy with the amount of PSA 9 and PSA Gem Mint 10 first edition base set commons and uncommons we got. These will definitely do well on eBay. The 8s I'll list as buy it now copies as well. Those typically sell fairly slow, but because they're first edition base, I'll still list those as buy it now copies on eBay. The few 7s and 5s, I'm just gonna send those to an eBay auction, 99-cent eBay auction. And speaking of auctions, that was the other thing I wanted to talk about within this video. I started doing more eBay auctions. So I'm still doing my eBay consignment auctions on Sunday. So those start every Sunday and then end the following Sunday. I stopped doing consignment YouTube videos just because I really didn't enjoy those types of YouTube videos myself, and the views on those videos, I never got many views on those videos, so I wasn't enjoying making those videos. You guys weren't enjoying watching those videos, so I just kind of stopped making those videos altogether. But I am still doing eBay consignments, so those are every Sunday. I typically run between 100 and 150 auctions every Sunday as part of my eBay consignments. And then I just recently, about a month or so ago, started doing weekly auctions on eBay of my own stuff. So Sunday is consignments. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are all my own stuff. So started doing those. It's been good so far. I'm gonna keep that card aside for 1 second. So it's been going well so far. It's definitely something where you need to stay ahead of it if you're going to be wanting to run auctions almost every day. So I do the scheduled listing feature where you can schedule listings out. And as I'm recording this video, today is Tuesday, like I said. So I already have my Monday auctions up. I have my Tuesday auctions scheduled to go live tonight. And I'll probably get my Wednesday and Thursday auctions scheduled to go live either later today, maybe tomorrow. But you definitely do have to stay ahead of it if you want to do that type of thing. Right now, I'm doing about 20 or 30 auctions every day, Monday through Thursday. And I decided to do Monday through Thursday just because I don't want to have cards ending on Friday or Saturday night, just because that's typically when my sales are the busiest. So come Monday morning, I have a lot of eBay orders to get shipped out. So I don't want to have auctions ending Friday night, Saturday night to kind of add to the number of cards that I have to mail off on Monday morning. So that's why I decided to stick with the Monday through Thursday. And so far, it's been working out well. Definitely something that I plan on continuing. It's the cards that I'm auctioning off as part of these auctions are all kind of like lower end cheap cards. A lot of played WotC Hollows, mid-era and modern hit card lots of like played excellent condition cards. So stuff that I really don't want to list as like buy it now copies on eBay. Just getting rid of it through auction, start everything off at 99 cents, free shipping, and let it go from there. Squirtle was another card that I got upcharged on. This was a fairly obvious one. PSA Gem Mint 10, first edition base set Squirtle right there. Believe I got upcharged to the $50 tier on that one, which made sense. These two cards were the cards I wanted to talk about originally. So, PSA Gem Mint 10, first edition base set Arcanine. I actually got two of these back from PSA. They both actually got upcharged, which I was surprised by, because the value of these cards is definitely worthwhile of the upcharge. I believe I got upcharged to the $30 per card tier on these, which it's really not bad. It's another $10 per card, as opposed to the $20 per card that I was originally paying. So the fact that they got upcharged, it's really not a big deal. I'm fine with that. Glad they got a PSA 10, but I was surprised that these two cards got upcharged, because Arcanine's not really a popular Pokemon. And to know that these cards are above that maximum declared value, you really have to know a decent bit about Pokemon. It's not like the Squirtle or the Pikachu, where it's a popular Pokemon and you can kind of assume that because it's a Gem Mint 10, it's going to be worth more than that declared value. So I was a little bit surprised. By that one. It seems like PSA is getting a little bit stricter about what cards they're upcharging. Before, it was just like Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur. If you submitted one of those, it got a good grade, it would get upcharged because everyone knows those cards are worth a decent bit. But now it does seem like more cards are getting upcharged, which makes me a little bit nervous for my recent PSA submissions. I'll be curious to see how those cards get upcharged. I know for sure there's going to be at least a few upcharges within those submissions, but I'll be curious to see how they kind of handle those upcharges, if a lot of the cards get upcharged, or if it's just like the PSA 10s and the more popular Pokemon like that. It'll be interesting to see, but hopefully there's a lot of PSA 10s and a decent bit of upcharges on those cards within that submission. So we did get another Squirtle right here, our second Gem Mint 10 Squirtle. This was another card that I got upcharged on, obviously. think that one was to the $50 tier, like the first Squirtle was right there. And we're finally coming down to the last few cards within this submission right here. Last few PSA 10s within this submission. So there is the Bill Trainer right there, and then we have two more of the Charizard illustrators right there. I absolutely love this card. I think the artwork on this card is really, really nice. So I did buy a whole bunch of these cards. I submitted about half into CGC, and then the other half into PSA. Maybe more into CGC than PSA, because I think I bought 100 copies total. And I know I graded the vast majority of them. There were a few that I didn't grade just because they had some sort of like binder dent on the back of it, which I really didn't understand because I purchased these cards right when they came out. So I don't understand how that happened. But anyway, purchased about 100 of these cards, graded the vast majority of them, and I don't have any left. I think there was 30 within this submission, so I must have sent like 60 or so into CGC for grading. But yeah, really cool artwork on that card right there. But that is everything that I have for this PSA return. 384 cards, like I said, just to give you guys a quick overview. So these 3 stacks right here are all PSA Gem Mint 10s. These 4 stacks right here are all PSA Mint 9s. These 2 stacks right here are PSA 8s, and then we have the 7s and the 5 right there. So overall, really, really happy with this submission. I'll probably get these cards listed on eBay within the coming weeks. Probably won't do any eBay listings this week, aside from my auctions, just because I want to get as many cards off to PSA as possible. But after this week, I'll probably work on getting these cards listed on eBay. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.